Hello and welcome to Go Visit Castles. This week we're in the beautiful county of Norfolk to explore a Norman castle which was fit for a queen.
Welcome to Castle Rising. Castle Rising stone keep was built around 1140 by William Daubeny, who had risen through the ranks of Anglo-Norman nobility to become the Earl of Arundel. William married Henry I's widow, and the castle he built here had to be fit for a former queen.
What an amazing entrance to a castle, and to be greeted with this view, this is something very special.
It's magnificent, isn't it?
You know what, before we explore inside, I'm going to take a look at the earthworks and take a little look at the outside of the keep.
Yeah, I thought you might do. That's your favourite bit to go and look at. I am going to go and hunt down the remains of a chapel that I know was built during the time of Queen Isabella's stay here. And as you know, Isabella is one of my favourite historical figures.
Cool, so we'll go our separate ways and meet back up here shortly.
We can do. I'll see you in a bit.
The size and scale of the earthworks at Castle Rising are colossal. Now the builders of Castle Rising, not being content with building just one bailey, oh no sir, they built three. That's right, 3 defensive baileys covering an area of 12 acres. Now in comparison to earthworks at any other castle anywhere, that's big. That's really big.
After a brief period of comfortable house arrest at Windsor Castle, Isabella was granted several royal castles in England, including Castle Rising. And rather than being exiled here or a prisoner here, the records show that Isabella lived a very comfortable life here, a very luxurious life. She had extensive building works carried out, and although not a lot of that remains here, what I have got in front of me are the remains of Isabella's chapel.
This Norman keep is super high status, and the features of its exterior are extremely lavishly designed. Take a look at the windows, the arches, the beautifully carved masonry, and the stunning gateway entrance into the fore building. This truly is a castle fit for a queen. So what do you think to Castle Rising then? Now you've had a little chance to have a look around.
I'm impressed with the masonry, especially on the outside, but haven't yet seen what's on the inside.
The earthworks are incredible.
Yeah, they look it.
I'm really excited to go inside and have an explore around. Shall we go in?
Yeah, definitely.
Ladies first.
Thank you.
Absolutely love this fore building, Jane. It's amazing it's intact.
This is what you would have seen as you came in, as you were about to be granted entrance into the Great Hall.
Super high status, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
It's nice to see that most of this one survived. So a lot of them don't.
No, that's what I was impressed with. A lot of this is still 12th century.
And a beautiful stairway.
Beautiful stairway.
Into the waiting room.
And a Norman arch.
Castle kitchens. I love exploring the kitchens when we come visit the castle, Jay.
They're not very big, are they?
They've probably got the smallest kitchens in a castle we've ever visited.
I can only assume that when Isabella had building works carried out at the castle when she was residing here, that she's had one built externally, and there's obviously no remains of it.
That's what's happened. There's no way you could cater for 100 people or more with this small kitchen space, could you?
No, it's tiny. During the anarchy, Stephen's mints had fallen into his opponent's hands and his enemies had destroyed the dies needed from which to mint new coins. The land from the southwest to the north of England was under the control of the Earl of Gloucester, who was Stephen's enemy, which left Stephen with the boroughs to the east of England from which he could mint new coins. And one of those new mints was Castle Rising, who first produced coins in 1141. Castle Rising is most famous for being the place where Queen Isabella, the wife of Edward II, was exiled after her fall from power. Now that fall came about because Isabella could no longer tolerate a lot of her husband's behaviour, such as his favouritism towards the Despensers, his alienation of the barons and the unrest that this was causing in the country. So whilst Isabella was on a diplomatic mission to France, she allied herself with the exiled Roger Mortimer, and together they invaded England. They rallied so much support that Edward's regime collapsed. Edward had no choice but to abdicate the throne. He was placed into the custody of Thomas de Berkeley at Berkeley Castle, and it was there that Edward died. Probably. Following Edward's death, his son was crowned Edward III. But Edward was only 14 years of age, and that left Roger Mortimer the de facto ruler of the country because he was Edward's guardian. He was now the one calling all of the shots. But by 1330, Edward had had enough of Mortimer's greed, and he launched a surprise attack on Mortimer at Nottingham Castle. Mortimer was captured and he was executed, but it left the more delicate matter of what to do with Isabella. Although Henry VI mobilised the castle's military defences during the War of the Roses, the castle was used more as a hunting facility. And by the time Henry VIII sold the castle to Thomas Howard, the Duke of Norfolk, the castle was already in a state of disrepair. We've had an amazing time here at Castle Rising. I think this is possibly my new favourite castle, not least because of the connection to Queen Isabella, who I am a huge fan of. But this is a really interesting keep. It's got some unusual features, hasn't it?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It really is.
It's got some absolutely stunning features on it. And I would say if you're into earthworks, come visit Castle Rising, because it's probably got the biggest and most extensive earthworks of any castle in the country. And I also like the fact that King Stephen also had a coin mint here as well.
He did, which is pretty cool. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe and we will see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye for now.